Well, good evening, Philly, this 30th of December 2013. Thanks for choosing your full U.S. national briefing, including Philadelphia, here on Weather Ranger. Let's take a look or so at the next week as we have cold across northern half of the country. And do we have a couple of storms next week, including this coming weekend? Let's take a look at your details here. Well, looking at the National Enhanced Infrared Satellite Imagery, we can see this Alberta Clipper, which is this little patch of clouds right here moving over the Great Lakes. This will move eastward overnight and could bring a dusting to our region. Let me stop this motion here and outline this guy so you can see him right here as I'm circling him, and he's going to be moving eastward overnight, which could bring a dusting or a quick coating to our area right here. And we can see the very powerful southern jet stream. This is a conveyor belt transporting moisture right up the east coast. In fact, this is an Arctic front right here, as colder air will be spilling in behind it. And only thing this will do is just aggravate this disturbance right here, as this will be a nice dome of cold air behind it, and this is pushing through this way right here. And this will definitely be the coldness that it's going to need to snow. Here comes our next system in the northern part of the jet stream. This is going to scoot this way. This is going to be our transport mechanism for our combination of our two streams of energy. In fact, on Thursday, what most forecasters and the models are thinking is that the energy is going to come down from Canada and the Pacific Northwest like this, and it's going to combine with this energy, the southern branch of the jet stream right here, which the models are not picking up on very well, by the way. And they're expecting a low right here off the coast. This hasn't formed yet. This is supposed to form. And what that would mean is snow everywhere in through here, and maybe even all the way up in through here as well. Okay? So what's going to happen is, I think, is that this southern branch of the jet stream is just too powerful. The low is going to form right here as these two systems, these two pieces of energy combine, and the winds are so powerful out of the southwest right now, it's just going to take this low right out to sea. And sorry, Northeast, I think everybody gets ripped off on Thursday into Friday. Let's take a look at the Northeast anyway right now as far as snow showers go. There's multiple snow showers everywhere, especially the southwest corner of Pennsylvania. We also have this Clipper system that I showed you on infrared satellite imagery right here. This is this guy moving through Chicago right now, and we'll scoot across our region to the north overnight, bringing with us a coating or a light dusting in certain places. All the rain is down here in the Gulf Coast right now. We have 53 in New Orleans, and we have a nice 77 with a couple showers here in Miami. We have the 40s along the Texas coast, as this is all rain from that southern branch of the jet stream. We have 36 right now up in Philly. We have 32 up here in New York on Long Island, and we have cold 13 with snow showers out here in Chicago as this system moves through. You can see it right here on the radar. This is the low. Here he is, and he's going to go over top of us tonight. In fact, this has been the pattern as we have in the East Coast system. A series of clippers will move through and bring scattered nickel and dime situations. Not much, but frequently. So let's take a look at the jet stream, the northern branch, or excuse me, the southern branch. This is the big player in the storm that's supposed to happen on this Thursday coming. This is a polar low. This is very, very cold air right here over the Hudson Bay, and this is spilling Arctic air over the northern half of the country. And that is going to be the story over the next week or so. Is going to be the cold air. It's going to be January, so not totally surprising. Let's take a look at the European model here. This is something different from our regional Northeast discussion. This shows us a coastal low right here on Monday. But let's back it up a little bit first here into this Friday. Interesting situation, as the rain snow line is right through New York City and right over top of Philly, right over top of us, and a big dome of cold air over the United States, over the east coast of the United States. Here's this piece of energy, is what the European model was showing us for Friday morning when we wake up, and here is the low sitting right here off the coast, and we can see some moisture here at lower levels. So it's really a waffle between this and the GFS model and a bunch of other models that we call ensembles to try to tell us what we're going to see as far as they can agree or not, and they have not been able to. It's a model fight here, folks, the rest of the week. And if this were to play out, this would be a pretty significant situation. So where does the European model take this thing? It takes it right off the coast of North Carolina and up into the Canadian Maritime. So if it is going to move that quickly, I wouldn't expect to see much here in the Northeast. And I'm leaning towards no snow at this point for us in the East Coast here anyway. Anyway, a series of disturbances moves down from the jet stream, the northern branch of the jet stream, and a big pool of cold air. In fact, let's take a look at that on the national GFS model here. As we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, very cold across the northern half of the United States, nickel and dime snow situations. Through Tuesday and Wednesday, nickel and dime situations across the northern part of the country. And then as we head into Thursday and Friday, this cold air will spill across the central part of the United States, almost all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And this will be some snow here, interior portions of North Carolina and also the Appalachians, as this piece of energy will combine with the northern branch of the jet stream and will just probably move out to sea. And then we take it into Saturday, and this is a cold, cold day. Only expecting highs to reach 20 if we're lucky in the Northeast, maybe lower than that up in New England. Overnight lows easily in the single digits for Philly, and also the negative digits up in New England as well. Here comes another clipper. Here comes another disturbance over Wisconsin and Minnesota, probably affecting the Twin Cities this weekend. Very, very cold and bitterly cold across the northern plains as usual this time of year, as this system here will skate eastward, and then we take it into your Sunday for you. And still continued very, very cold across the northern half of the United States. Arctic-like weather, as the polar vortex is this big area of red right here. And this is basically the North Pole. So it's going to be frigid this weekend, heading into next week. And we see this this band right here. This is going to be another Arctic front moving through on Sunday, anytime during the day on Sunday. And then that system exits off to the east and just leaves us cold. So the European model had a system here over Sunday of next week, of this coming weekend. Let's take a look at that actually over here, and let's see what's that all about. The GFS wasn't picking up on that, which is the one model that we use, and the other model that we're using right here is this European model. This does better with medium range forecasting. And let's take a look, and it'll take you out into Sunday here, and we're backing it up. We're playing with the times here, and this is Sunday, and it looks as if the system is Thursday and Friday system right here. So let's go back in time and see if we can get our system on Sunday back. Looks like it disappeared. Actually, here it is. It comes through on Sunday night into Monday morning. It's right here. This isn't Fridays and Thursday and Fridays this week. This is Sunday night heading into Monday morning next week. And this is also in the forecast discussions, and you're going to hear a lot of buzz about this. And this looks more favorable as far as I'm concerned for an East Coast storm. So if we miss it on on Thursday and Friday, I think our odds for a storm here on Monday are much greater. So maybe the kids will have off school. If you're a college student, you might not have class, because this is looking much more feasible as far as what the pattern looks like on the model. Here's a big dip in the jet stream over the East Coast of the United States, and that's what you want to see, to have an East Coast low. In fact, the low would, I think, in this pattern right here, in this trough, in this dip, I think the East Coast low would form right here, and that would just be great to get a snow on Monday by 7 a.m. Monday morning. So this is the storm to watch. Again, very cold across the northern part of the United States with nickel and dime clipper situations, probably a little bit of snow every day right here in the upper plain states and upper Midwest, and I think that's the story. That's your full U.S. National Weather Ranger briefing, including Philadelphia. Keep it right here to weatherranger.com. We will be updating you on the possible snowstorms this coming weekend and the one that looks more likely heading into Monday morning of next week. So an interesting and active weather pattern here, and you don't want to let your guard down. Keep it right here to Weather Ranger to find out the latest. Have a good day and enjoy.